Candy Dan is a new for 2024 Spirit of Halloween animatronic. This guy released online as part of Spirit's first wave of prop reveals, and he's Techie's newest rendition of a terrifying monster clown character. Dan features stirring arms that blend his cotton candy together, a moving mouth, and of course, a sweet jump scare with a man inside of his cotton confection, officially named Jim. With all this in consideration, is Cotton Candy Dan worth his steep price tag of $329.99? Should you be adding him to your collection of carnies? Without any further ado, let's unbox and set up Cotton Candy Dan. For everything scary, I'm GM Haunts, and welcome to yet another Halloween 2024 animatronic unboxing, setup, demo, and review video. Now this unboxing is super exciting because what you're seeing right in front of me and what is inside this box is my very first Spirit 2024 animatronic, because this is the Cotton Candy Dan prop. Now, as you can tell, I have not even taken him out of his shipping box just yet. He is still in the cardboard slip box, but also, as you can see, this guy has a super big box. You can see that it stands at around 3 feet tall, judging by what the FedEx dimensions were, and it also has a pretty wide box, which is interesting because Cotton Candy Dan isn't the biggest animatronic. He's around 6.3 feet tall, something like that. So not the biggest prop, but he does have a big box. He's manufactured by Techie Design, and in my opinion, most likely why this guy's box is so big is simply because he has some very large pieces. But as you can see, we have our first look into the box, and the first thing I'm noticing is that the printing is a little bit different, I guess, this year, as the Spirit logo is only on one side of the cardboard flaps. It's not printed in the middle. Kind of weird. Again, I haven't watched really any unboxing, so I don't know really what this guy's box is going to look like fully. It's pretty heavy. Let me try to get this out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I got the box out of the shipping carton. Pretty heavy, so I did have to flip it upside down. He weighs like 40 pounds or 35 or something like that. So a pretty heavy animatronic, but here it is. Our first look at the actual box for Cotton Candy Dan. And like I said, I hadn't seen it. Look at how awesome that looks. Awesome image right there. Let me move this out of the way so you can see it perfectly. Very nice stock image of Cotton Candy Dan on the front there. Has some information about him, just says Cotton Candy Dan. We'll flip it to this side over here. On this side, we have another same stock image, just smaller. He actually does have handles, which is nice. Like I said, he's manufactured by Techie. Back of the box, obviously just has Cotton Candy Dan and his story on that side. And then on the other side here, we have two images. One that's kind of like a close-up of the top of the animatronic, and then a close-up of the man in the cotton candy bucket with his head sticking out, who, judging by the story, is actually named Jim. But here we are, our first look into the actual Cotton Candy Dan box. We can see some pieces in there. It looks like we can see some instructions, the adapter. So I'll take the instructions out first. It actually is connected to a box that most likely has some holes in there. We can get a look at his instructions. You can see Cotton Candy Dan's face on there. This is the same design that the instructions have been were for Spirit last year as well. So no new design, but there are his instructions. Here we have Cotton Candy Dan's pants, and these actually do have a pre-built-in waist loop, so they will keep their shape. As you can see, they are red color. These look very nice. Here we have the control box and module for Cotton Candy Dan, and as you can see, it was packaged with some styrofoam to protect the snap locks. In this cardboard pullout, we have the main piece for Cotton Candy Dan, and this is really interesting, not really something I expected. His head is actually connected to the body. It is not its own piece. So let's take off the plastic bag that is over his head. All right, so I got the plastic bag taken off, and let's take a look at this Cotton Candy Dan, his body and his head. Like I said, I honestly expected it to be a separate piece, the head as its own piece, but it is not. It is connected to his body, and his arms are also connected with the top of the stick for the cotton candy. As you can see right there, another interesting thing about this is that his head is plastic. Hopefully you can hear that. It is a hard plastic material. You can see how the jaw will move as he does have mouth movement, and he has that LED in there, which will turn on when he activates. But here's Cotton Candy Dan's head. I want to show how interesting this is packed by Techie Design. Hopefully you can kind of see to the bottom of the box there. The shoes are packed inside the cotton candy bucket, which is just a nice way to ship it. It kind of like condenses the amount of space the box has to be because it's already pretty large. So I like that they did that. Right here, we have one of the pieces for the cotton candy stick, which just kind of like connects together for that. Next up, we will take out the shoes that I just mentioned. Here is one of them. This is the left shoe. As you can see, it is an awesome blue color, almost a baby blue, like a bright blue color. And it's pretty thick, which I'm glad to see. It is not as thin as the Clown on Stilts shoes were from Lowe's last year. They are much thicker. Again, listen to that, very, very thick. So I love the look of these. Here we have the man's head that is inside the cotton candy. I haven't taken a good look at it yet, so you're going to see my first reaction. Like I said in the description, or the story for Cotton Candy Dan, it does say that this guy's name is Jim. So I'm super excited to take a look at this. He looks awesome already. Yeah, this is so cool. All right, gotta get a close-up of this. I'm not gonna lie, I actually think I like the look of Jim's head more than Cotton Candy Dan himself. Look at how awesome that sculpt is. The look of like the white eyes and the mouth being open. It looks like there's cotton candy all over his face. And this is actually fluffy. That is so cool. Okay, the cotton candy on top of his head is actually fluffy. As you can see there, it looks so realistic. It looks like real cotton candy. You have the wire right here in there for the pop-up mechanism. The mechanism is actually built in. I should mention it's right there, but this looks just phenomenal. I love the sculpt of this. And then for one of the last pieces, we have one of the biggest parts for Cotton Candy Dan, which is part of the reason this guy's box is so big, the cotton candy bucket. And my first impression, it's actually really high quality. It may be the highest quality piece that I've taken out so far. I love the look of the cotton candy on there. It is